let's talk about our Arizona wildfires because they leave more than scorched land behind, and there is a ton of smoke in the air, especially in our high country right now. This is certainly something to think about if you'll be in that part of our state this weekend. Now, some of it has seeped here into the valley, and this adds to our already poor air quality. This morning, we've invited Dr. Sunil Jain with us to talk about how the smoke could affect us. I would imagine lots of people are wondering whether or not they should be heading north from the valley because of this.
Yeah, you know, it's a situation where if you have any type of a lung disease or congestive heart failure, it's anything where you're more vulnerable, that you want to kind of stay away from it.
Well, what's in the smoke that actually could hurt us?
There's a lot of different particulates in the smoke. You've got carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, nitric oxide, and then just various particles that really are lung irritants. And so people who are really vulnerable, who have breathing issues, like people with COPD,
right.
Asthma, are particularly sensitive to those particulates.
Are there any warning signs? Because, I mean, there could be some cases where people don't know that they're sensitive to it.
Yeah, I mean, usually if you're a normal, healthy person, you're not going to be affected too much unless it's really bad. And most of the time you can get a pretty good idea from the visibility.
Sure,
they basically
that makes
say,
sense.
If it's, and I don't know how you can necessarily judge, but if it's under 10 miles, if you can see it for about 10 miles, visual that the air is pretty clean. If it's under 5 miles, then it tends to affect people who are sensitive. And then if the visibility is less than a mile, then it's pretty significant.
Is there
it
a
can
group?
affect almost anyone.
We know that folks who suffer from upper respiratory illnesses, things like asthma, like you said, COPD, they're susceptible. Any other group that should be mindful of this if they are planning to go to any of these areas?
I would say be careful. Young children, and people with that congestive heart failure. Anyone who is likely any disease that can be triggered by breathing difficulties.
All right. Are there any? Because we know that you're awesome when it comes to natural things. Are there any things that we can be eating to actually breathe better?
It's going to be more from a common sense standpoint, and really just avoid the smoke. If you see it, you want to stay out of it. Go indoors. Close the vents that allow the air to come into the house, and just kind of sit there with a little AC on.
Very good point. All right. Well, we appreciate your time this morning. I want to bring in April on this one for a moment because we were talking.